with you, cuz?
Coolin', man. Man, hey, I gotta tell you, it's an honor and a privilege to be here with you, cuz
It's definitely an honor and privilege, man.
Mr. Real is real.
Listen. I'm gonna introduce Sons of Florida podcast, man. We podcasting today, man. Like my cousin say, man, it's been an honor and a pleasure.
Yeah, 100%.
And you one of my inspirations, cuz. We was at that football game. You remember?
Yeah,
And you say, let me show you something. We was talking about something. We went to start talking about podcasting. And this was actually last year
yeah, that's right.
at the beginning of the season. And
Right.
since last year at the beginning of the season, I say, man, you know what? That's something I want to been doing a long time, man. But I ain't, done it. So
Yeah.
I was like, I sat back for a whole other year, man. It's 2025. Cause when you came at me with this podcast idea, you showed me the Sons of Florida idea. And I watched your interview. I went home that day after the football game and I watched your interview. I said, you know what? This is the next wave.
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie, cuz you put that battery back in my back. You gave me the motivation that I need. Cause you got excited by seeing my podcast and you say, cuz I want to start me a podcast. So, hey, I was like, when you start coming up with the ideas and we've been bouncing off each other, it's just the way it's supposed to be though, cuz. Like you say, that motivation, sometimes you need that. And then when you go back to saying it's all about, the team that you put around you and people that's like-minded, good energy, good spirited people, and you can't ask for people to be around you that don't want to be around you. You'll know because they're going to block you every time.
Exactly.
So, like you say, we here right now podcasting. Like I say, this the relaunch for the Sons of Florida podcast. And like you say, I'm just introducing you to the Real is Real podcast. You can be really expecting some real topics coming from the Real is Real podcast. And, y'all look forward to it, man. Y'all stick around. Get in tune with us. You're gonna be seeing a lot more from us. You're gonna be hearing a lot more from us. Real is Real, the Sons of Florida podcast.
Yeah, and it's like a lot of things that, that's going on right now. We want to, just come out here and spread the youth, send a wave out here, send a new message because
100%.
as we know, we in our last days, you know what I'm saying? We've been seeing the signs, we've been seeing the signs. We ain't gonna get off in that direction yet, but we've been seeing the signs. So this is just another way for us to, spread the message and get, to where we need to be.
Yeah.
And get the message out to the youth, not just for us black brothers and all black entrepreneurs and all us black people, but for all people and entrepreneurs and creators. This is a wave for us right now, and if we don't get the wave out, then if your voice ain't being heard, then what you doing? What you doing with yourself?
Yeah. What's your place in the world? Where you want to be at, and how you want to see the world? You got to create that around you. But like you said, the Sons of Florida podcast, it's always to salute people of the community. Just give people their flowers while they can smell them. We got brothers coming home that ain't been home in a long time. We got people, loved ones behind them prison bars. We want to show them that we still think about them, we still love them. We creating a space that's safe for our people to come to that's like-minded. We want them to know that, we got plenty of stories that you can come sit down and tell. We got so much stuff to talk about in this 2025, bro.
Hey, I tell you, bouncing off each other, like you said, with this collaboration, I want to elaborate on what, because you just said, prison life, you know what I'm saying? And I, what's going on. That's another real topic that we're going to be discussing at, Real is Real podcast and also Sons of Florida podcast. We're going to give you genuine, real life stories, real motives,
Yeah.
Everybody, majority nowadays got family in prison. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everybody got a story to tell. You know, we both. You know what I'm saying? You know, I done been to prison, cause, and
Yeah.
you know, so
Talk about it for a minute.
well, if I wouldn't have went to prison, man, my life wouldn't have. I wouldn't be on this mic talking to y'all because I was just speeding. You feel me?
Yeah.
Speeding. And prison taught me patience, man.
Yeah.
It taught me patience. If it ain't teach me one thing, it taught me patience. It also made me a smarter criminal every time. And it also made me so smart to where when I did my last bid and I got in 2014, I said I wasn't going back no more. That's how smart it made me. You feel me?
It made you that smart. to realize you don't, to realize you don't need to be there. Yeah, but like you said.
So you know, I did. You know, I did. I ain't do that much. I did. You know, my first bid I did the end of the day. You know, my second bid I did 15 months. You know, my third bid I did. You know, what they gave me on my third bid? They gave me 20 months, but I had off of 20 months. I had 384 days time credit served.
Wow.
So you see how God blessed me?
Yeah, that's right.
I got this B letter, man.
Yeah.
I got a B letter that God done blessed me with. Going to prison 3 times back to back.
Yeah.
Instead of them saying, you know what, we just seen you 3 times, get on out of here. You know what I'm saying? God has blessed me, so that's another reason why I want to spread to you too. Because God has blessed me to be able to let y'all young brothers and young sisters know, man, it's a better way we can do it.
Yeah, that's right. It's definitely a better way. And like you said, you had to bump your head a couple times to be able to have this message. Like this, like you said, if you ain't had them stumbles and falls, you wouldn't be able to know how to navigate and show someone else the path that they don't need to take. And that's what we here for. We here for the community. We here for the community of Southwest Florida, not only Southwest Florida, the whole state of Florida.
239.
Yeah, but
stand up.
Yes, 239 stand up. But not only that though, you know, we want the world to see that not only South Florida got something to say, Southwest Florida got something to say.
Exactly. Southwest Florida, we definitely got a lot to say. We had a lot to say, man, but you know, I feel like it was always limited because of we was only so big. You know what I'm saying?
See, one thing about Fort Myers though, Lil Pat, however you want to say it,
they gonna be heard.
Yeah, we gonna be heard. We come from a small city, but like we got a big city mentality.
Exactly.
Yeah, we gonna stand out wherever we go. You can put us in the jungle, and we're gonna come out with a alligator skin on our back and alligator crocs. You feel me? We gonna come out.
And it's a whole bunch of cats in Fort Myers. Cause guess what? You niggas in Fort Myers got 9 lives. Cause guess what? You niggas always stumble on y'all head and you fall out, flip out the tree. You lay right on your feet every time.
Come on, every time. Yeah, for real. Yeah, Lee County.
So Lee County, boy, it's a whole bunch of cats out here because y'all niggas got 9 lives.
Yeah.
I ain't never seen so many niggas in the city that get fucked up so many times, boy.
Yeah. And bounce right back.
And be bounced back and be all right, man. So you know, it's I guess it's that's that 239 culture, man. That 239 structure, you know.
Yeah, but we the voice of it right now.
Yeah,
we at the forefront right now. You feel me?
That's why we got the podcast wave coming, man. That's why we can't miss this podcast wave, man. And like you say, to go back to the introduction real quick, you know, and this is like the introduction, cause my introduction and like your introduction, like also collaboration. You know what I'm saying? When I was out here, since I've been doing my podcast, you know, research for about the last year, man, they say it's good to collaborate with other podcasters.
Yeah.
You know,
100%.
And that's the best way you know what I'm saying, you gain your followers. You know, I'm on the airwaves today and I'm feeling good.
Yeah.
You know,
right.
this is my first podcast. So
and
this, you know what I'm saying, this is what probably about your 5th, 6th podcast.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But you back in the game now. You was, you know what I'm saying, just chilling, you know?
Yeah, but you was the motivation for that.
Right, exactly. But you motivated me too. So,
Yeah.
So going back to the introduction to that is we finna be the new wave of the city, man. We finna be the new voice. You know what I'm saying? We got a nice setup, we set up nice. We've been doing lead work. It's gonna get better and better.
Yeah, it's gonna keep getting
It's gonna
better
get
and better.
better and better. It's gonna get better and better.
Yeah, they ain't seen nothing yet.
Hey, listen, man. I'm dropping. I'm dropping so much as I can drop now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, look for the content. Like, subscribe. You know, mess with us, cause we messing with you. You know, 100%.
Exactly. Tell them where to find you at, cuz. Tell them what all platforms you on and what more platforms you got coming.
Yeah, you can find me at The Sons of Florida Podcast on Instagram as well as YouTube, The Sons of Florida Podcast. For one, like I said, going back to the people that support me, we're gonna support them. The people that support us, we're gonna support you 100%. And like you said, we genuine people. And what you realizing and seeing now is the upcoming and forefront of what's next in the city. Cause we really gonna support you. Anything that you wanna come on and talk about on this podcast, and it's a story that you wanna get out, let us know. Tap in with us, cause we got too many stories. We got too much legacy from, just from the Billy Bowleg, East Fort Myers, Michigan. Sable Palm, Habitat, wherever. You know what I'm saying? All the way down Ortiz. You know what I'm saying? So tap in with us.
Tap in, man. We gonna be, we gonna be a DM away. We gonna be a phone call away.
Yeah,
we gonna be an email away. Realest Real Podcast. Right now I'm only on 2 platforms, but I got more to coming soon.
Exactly.
And right now you can catch me on Instagram, Realest Real 1982, and you can also catch me on YouTube 1982. I'm dropping a lot of content. Trying to stay relevant with the game. Us older guys, we get up in age a little bit. We kind of fall back, but.
Yeah,
this is why we podcasting, because we want to bring y'all the message. You know what I'm saying? Right now, if you ain't on this wave, you gonna fall. If you ain't on this AI, you gonna fall. If you ain't on this investing, you gonna fall, because you know what I'm saying. The world is changing. The world is changing out here today. So we just bringing y'all the message. And you can find, like I say, you can find me on YouTube right now. Realest Real 1982, and you can find me on Instagram, Realest Real 1982. Like, comment, subscribe. Come follow me. Let me follow you back. Let's get this wave out here, man. Let's conquer a new wave that's finna take over podcasting. Also coming soon, I'll be putting my Zencaster address out there. So other podcasters and other entrepreneurs and other podcasters, y'all can come tap in with me, call me. Let's set up a podcast. If you're out of state, if you're out of town, if you want to, be a part of this movement, you want to be a part of Realest Real, and you want to work with me and do some content, give me a shout. We can podcast off Zencaster. I'm just trying to get on this wave, man. It's coming. It's coming soon. It's gonna be coming fast. So you just lay around for it, man.
Yeah. And yeah.
Just lay around for it. That's basically what I'm gonna tell you. I ain't gonna tell you too much, but I'm gonna tell you something today while we podcast.
Yeah, 100%. Like you say, lay around for it, cause like you said, the thought process of being a voice is not only being a voice for yourself, it's being a voice for the people. And we got too many people without a voice and feel like they don't have a voice. We all got a voice and we all got something to say. But like you said, the message that we create in the day and what we want the people to know is that you ain't got to be afraid to speak up. If you got something to say, let's hear it, because we for the community, we for the people. So 100%, like we say, we for you, be for us.
Be for us. It's all about support. One thing I learned out here in this game, man, and you know this too, you can't get nowhere trying to do nothing if you don't support nobody.
That's right.
If you ain't a part of somebody, and you know what I'm saying, you let alone you gotta support yourself, you gotta support your family. You're a man out here in today decided. But if you can't support something and be a part of something see to help somebody else grow, you ain't gonna go nowhere. So I'm here to support. I support the community when I can. I support a lot of guys on the side of the road selling stuff.
Yeah.
Cause you never know. Them guys out there, they self-employed.
Yeah, they self-employed.
They nothing but entrepreneurs. They nothing but small time business owners. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And without us, they wouldn't be able to make it. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So,
but yeah, going back like off what you just said, if you feel like you can only do it by yourself, that's fine. But that type of thought process will leave you weary, tired. You're gonna feel like, dang, now nobody don't deal with me. Now nobody don't wanna be around me. I ain't got no friends. But you know what? You separated yourself from everybody else. Like, to be a friend, you got to make yourself a friend. So if you ain't got that type of mentality of, like we say, going back to the thought process, we always heard it take a village. And starting to get older, up in age, like you say, this age, we ain't old, but we aunts now for sure. But we realize the village mentality is what got us to the point of where we at. It take a tribe, it take a community, and once you learn that type of thought, you gotta realize, like, you got to put in the effort to be a part of that tribe too. See, everybody, like you say, they only have their ideas and they want to go off their ideas only. But sometimes if it ain't work for you, you can't doing the same thing. That's like they say, that's what you call, it's crazy to keep doing the same thing and not having to work. So you gotta know if you've been separated, you've been doing it by yourself, but keep bumping your head, tap in. Join in with a community of like-minded people that's thinking like you. And I'm really starting to learn that even with you, bro. Like you said, like, hey, boy, you need to get up off your ass. You know what you know the potential. So, like you said, that motivation, sometimes you might just need that gentle nudge to get you back motivated. And I appreciate that, though, for real.
Exactly. And you got to get up off your ass and get you some money, man, because the world is changing, man.
Yeah.
I ain't finna speak politics yet, but the world is changing.
Yeah,
if
like
you ain't
say,
doing something,
we ain't gonna give it to them all yet. Because like you said, it's just the introduction.
If you ain't doing something with yourself,
yeah,
then you ain't gonna have nothing with yourself. Because everybody got 24 hours in a day. If you ain't doing something with yourself, you ain't gonna have nothing for yourself. Especially in this world today, where times are changing. When you go to get you a burger and some fries, and that shit $15. So
yeah,
all that other shit is over with, man. You gotta stack you some money. And that's why you gotta be a part of something and be a part of this wave.
Yeah, like-minded people, like you said.
Like-minded people. And one thing, not to cut you off, cause
no, go ahead.
It's enough out here for all of us. So
yeah,
I'm finna kick y'all some real game real quick. Everybody say, oh, well, I don't want to tell this person because I don't want to steal my idea. Well, hey, if they steal your idea, so what?
Yeah.
They got it from you.
So
what that made them? That made them a follower.
But not only that, though, not to cut you off, though, cuz, but at the same time, like you said, it's enough for everybody. But not only that, if you gave them the idea and they take it and do something with it, that means that seed was planted for them to do. But not only is it planted for them to do, they're paying homage to you too, though. But so it really, it's good and bad followers. It's good and bad followers. But then at the same time, now if you go and take my idea and don't come back and give me nothing, then that's you being shady. But if you took my idea and come back and, hey, bruh, this what's going on, like I did, like you did with me. You ain't just leave me out with my idea. You came back and say, hey, bruh, this is what I got going on. So either come with me I'm finna shoot past you. And that's what you did. You brought me with you. So we ain't shooting past each other. We right here with each other. You feel me?
Exactly.
So that's what it's all about.
Exactly. Because I know because I done seen it out here. It's enough. It's enough out here for everybody. You know, everybody say, "Oh, I don't want to tell nobody. I don't want to tell." Give them the game.
Give them the game.
Give them the game. Tell them the game so they can go on and blow. It's enough out here. Who cares if they blow before you? Like you said, cuz that's paying homage to you. You know what I'm saying? You gave them the game. You was the lead. They followed you. They just took it and went and did something because it was their point of time right then and there.
Yeah.
But you can also take that idea and craft it to where you can do it better than any of anybody that you have told.
Yeah, that's right.
So don't be afraid to say, "Oh, no, I ain't gonna collaborate with this person, and I ain't gonna tell this person this, and I don't want to talk to this person about business because, oh, no, they're gonna steal my idea." No, let them steal it. Let them go craft it in a different way because there's more than one way to skin a cat.
That's right.
You feel me? Y'all was two minds together are better apart. I could have said, like you said, I could have just came in and you know, found a studio and you know, got my equipment and been sitting in here podcasting by myself, but that would have been fun.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That would have been fun. You know, maybe doing it on, podcasting on the computer or something like that. You know, that's probably different. But as far as, you know, seeing, you know, letting, you know, debating, you know, not really debating, but having a real conversation because I was always taught coming up and growing up, if you ain't talking sensible out your mouth, don't talk. Don't talk at all.
Don't say nothing
Don't
at
be
all.
talking stupid.
But you know what they say though, the smartest man in the room is the quietest man in the room.
Yes, sir.
Because he only speak on conversations that he know exactly what he talking about. So if you ain't got nothing really to add to a situation, don't add nothing at all because then you gonna be leading yourself astray and other people astray. So like you say, we only speaking on things that we can really speak on. For one, like you say, we come from Fort Myers. And this is city, we ain't the showman state, but we the showman city. Because if you're talking about it, you're going to have to be about it. One thing for sure, if you speaking on a subject, oh, I got this, I can do this, I can whatever, this, that, and the third. Nah, you can't just talk about it coming from Lee County, Lil Pat. Like you say, we come from a different era, different cut. So we come from that era. If you talking about it, you better be about it, cause somebody gonna put it to the test. Like even when we was jits, man, I can do more backflips than you. Well, come on then. You got to show me you can do more backflips than me. When it came to like us coming up of age, if you was in the streets and you say you about that life and you thugging a certain way, you gonna have to more than likely somebody gonna come and pull your coattails.
Somebody gonna test you.
Yeah, somebody gonna test you. And it ain't just about them testing you. They gonna really put you to your limits on some people, you know? Like you say, Fort Myers, Lee County, a lot of South people, a lot of people from Fort Myers coming up in the era that we come up in, the way we learned how to swim was how they did.
Push your ass in.
Threw you right in the middle of the pool.
Laughed at your ass. And when you went about to panic and die, then they jumped in and saved you.
Yeah. But it was either, for real, it was either sink or swim. You better find your way. But with that, like you said, it was either they're going to have to jump in and save you because you don't know what you're doing yet. But it was the experience of you being out there in the water. You had to jump out there in the water to experience that, to even know what that felt like. But for me, they ain't have to jump in and save me. I learned real quick. I need to start kicking and pushing. And this the way I'm finna get to the edge of this pool.
Hey, shout out to Tice Pool, man.
Come on.
Off of Glenwood, man.
Come on.
You taught a lot of real ones how to swim, and you taught a lot of real ones, hey, listen.
Yeah.
And you gonna, what you said, sink or swim.
Sink or
shout
swim.
Out to Tice Pool.
Yeah.
Shout out
to
piss ass pool.
For real. Shout out to Lee Pitts at the Stars, cause he was the one that was making you push up from the bottom of that pool for real. Shout out to the Stars.
Yeah, we're gonna shout out to the Stars Complex, man. Changing many lives, man. Helping a lot of people in the community, man. Shout out to Stars Complex and the whole staff over there, man.
Yeah, for real.
And also we're gonna shout out Lee Pitts, man, for his success in the community. You know what I'm saying? For him spreading the message out there. We gonna pay homage to all of them, man.
Yeah, that's
all
right.
Of them. We gonna give y'all some shout outs and some promotion later, but just for to warm you up right now, to warm you up, you know what I'm saying? But like you said, because hey, like I say, shout out to Tight School, man. And going back off to what you said, that's what life's about, really. You sink or swim.
Yeah, you sink or swim.
When you get 18, you get out your parents' house, you know what I'm saying? And you in the world. You know what I'm saying? You either sink or swim,
Most definitely.
Right. So,
yeah.
Cause let me ask you this.
What's up?
What's your we don't went over the motive, your motive on podcasting. Tell them what you got going on in 2025, man, and I'm gonna let you know what I got going on in 2025. What you got what you got going on coming soon in 2025?
Well, like you said, you see where we at with it. 2025, be looking for more content. Be looking for more podcasts. My podcast on the Sons of Florida podcast, well, like I said, it's a dedication and it's a celebration at the same time. This is in commemoration of our loved ones that passed away. This is for the people that can't speak right now, that ain't got the voice. Like, we doing it for the people. We're doing it for the people of Southwest Florida. And just be looking forward to hearing more from me. And I know they're going to be looking forward to hearing more from you. But, yeah, the Sons of Florida podcast, we back up and rolling.
Back up and rolling, man. At its finest.
So, cuz, like you said,
2025.
What you got going for 2025?
Well, I'm trying to kick it off slow, man, but kick it off fast. And when I give it to you, I'm trying to give it to you boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
But slowly, but surely.
Yeah, back to back.
Right now, I want to start, giving some of the YNs, man, some game from the OGs. Like you said, we at UNC status right now. I'm 42 years old. I'm at UNC status. All that playing and shaking and faking, that shit old for me. The game old for me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I done been there, done that. I done made my money. I done had fun. I done had cars. You know what I'm saying? I done had the women. I done had the lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? I'm still dealing with cars right now. You feel me? So I'm just ready to spread the message and to get the youth the game. So you gonna see lay around for I got some interviews coming. We're gonna start off with having some old school cats older than me.
Yeah, come and drop that knowledge.
Come on and drop that knowledge. And if you think I'm playing, and if you think I'm, fronting and giving you fake game, no.
Yeah.
You finna hear some stories about Fort Myers. You finna hear some stories about some real cats, some real OGs that's finna come give you the game. Like I said, the name of my podcast is Real is Real Podcast, and all we doing is dropping real talk. We're dropping, real content. If it ain't real, I don't want to hear it. I'm not finna be on here, talking about the next man, talking about what the next man got going on, because that don't entertain to me. I got 24 hours in a day just like you, and every other man got 24 hours in a day, so I'm only worried about what's going on in my 24 hours a day. I'm not finna come over here and controverse nobody and criticize nobody. It's only gonna be love and support on Real is Real Podcast.
Yeah.
And I'm asking for, the support, from not just, the 239, I'm asking for support all over the world. You know what I'm saying? This is why you podcast, to get your wave out here all over the world. So, coming from me, you're gonna see some, some real game being spit at you. Cause I'm here to give you the game. You know what I'm saying? Cause the game is over. So I want to give you the game. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I want these YNs, I want to, be able to say, hey, man, hey, the YNs, hey, looking up to JD, man, they getting somewhere. He teaching them something. He's spreading a good message to them. And not just the young niggas. The old niggas. Sometimes the old niggas, they need guidance too. We all need guidance. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's basically what you're gonna be seeing coming from me. When I don't have no interviews, I like to be doing collaborations, with not just you, cause
Yeah,
on
most
Sons of Florida
definitely.
podcast, I like to do, collaborations with any other podcasters who want to come podcast. I'm in the process of getting the spot, a building that, that's my building, you know what I'm saying? So we can work 24/7, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
Let's
Lay
get
around for it.
let's get 100 bands. Let's get 100 bands, man. Let's get $1 million.
Yeah, lay around for it.
Let's get some money in this wave, man, because it's time. It's here.
Yeah,
And like you say, lay around for it. Lay around for it, man.
yeah. So, like I said, cause, um, just want to give a shout out to Brian Lopez, my barber. You can find him at Booksky.com, and all people that come to him, new customers get 25% off. That's Brian Lopez at Booksky. You can find him at Booksky, and all new customers, it's a 25% discount for him. Cuz you got anybody you want to shout out?
Um, I want to shout out all the entrepreneurs and all the podcasters, man.
Yeah.
Even you, I want to shout out Sons of Florida podcast, man.
Yeah, most definitely.
For
Shout out to
giving me
Real Real.
motivation. I like to shout out Movado. I'm sorry, not Movado, Invicta, the Watching and Win. I like to shout out Coach, Closing and Win. I also like to shout out the whole cannabis industry, man. This is another way, man, where we can get some legal money. You know what I mean? I like to also shout out myself and you, the people. Invest in yourself. Invest in yourself. Invest in yourself. Because that's the wave that we on right now. Invest in yourself.
100%.
Like you said, shout out to your barber. You know what I'm saying? Because you invest in yourself.
Yeah.
Appearance is everything.
Yeah.
You know what I
most
mean?
definitely.
So, I also want to shout out some podcasts that motivated me, man. That I done got a lot of game from, like Quick, Fast, in a Hurry. Number one, you Sons of Florida podcast, cause just seeing that you was able to do it.
Yeah. It's a business.
And seeing that you was able to invest in yourself and how you got your equipment. You know what I'm saying? I like to shout out Adam. You know what I'm saying? Out there in LA. Adam 22. He run a tight ship. He real lenient with his workers, and he got a lot going on in the podcast game. I like to shout out OG Gigavelli down there, in Miami, cat from Miami, that spread the message to the user. I like to shout out podcasts like that. Critical thinkers, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
The Zoe
100%.
Pound.
Shout out.
Yeah. I also like to shout out, what other podcasts I be watching when I have a chance, man. Them three, is mostly the podcasts that I be watching. But all the podcasts got just motivated me. So I can't forget. Now we all podcasters, man, and we on the podcast wave, right?
Yeah, 100%.
But we really, really got to pay homage. And I ain't really heard nobody like pay homage, man, to like the man who I think started all this shit, like before the word podcast was even out.
Yeah.
You got to go back to Howard Stern, man.
Yeah.
Because before you got all these guys like Drink Champs and all these major, really big platforms and stuff. Before you had guys like what's the radio station? Drink Champs, and what's the other one? The hot radio station.
The
Breakfast
Club.
Club.
Breakfast
The
Club.
Breakfast Club. Yeah, shout out to Breakfast Club. Before they had them waves and them popular shows like that, you had Howard Stern.
Yeah.
I always been a big fan of the Sirius.
Yeah, he definitely got a different lane.
I always been a big fan of Sirius satellite radio. I used to like it with Sirius.
Yeah.
Then I got mad when Sirius and XM merged together. You know what I'm saying? But I still call it Sirius satellite radio. And I remember back in the days, man, calling the 1-800 numbers and shouting out on the airway back in the days, you know, the early 2000s, late 90s, on satellite radio. So all that stuff, man, I have been watching it for a long time. I've been listening to it a long time. Like, I was just telling my girl yesterday, she's like, baby, what's Shady 45? Because we was talking, you know what I'm saying, a guy was talking about, he listened to Shady 45. I said, baby, Shady 45. I say, that's Eminem shit.
Yeah, that's right.
I said, that's Eminem shit. I said, why do you think it's called Shady 45? He called Slim Shady, and the channel is his channel is 45 on City Satellite Radio. Right. I say, Eminem bought that shit years and years ago. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
I've been listening to Shady 45 for years. You know, DJ Lloyd Sincere and all them guys. You know what I'm saying? DJ K Slay, all them guys, man. Like, I've been listening to them radio stations for a long time. It's like they don't give enough power to Howard Stern to hey man, if it weren't for Howard Stern, you know what I'm saying, his cast, we wouldn't be sitting here podcasting like this, man. Like I say, man, it's enough out here for everybody, man. This wave ain't just started. It had just been out of control. It's just out of control now. But Howard Stern been doing this, cuz. You think about it?
No. He's been doing it. He's been doing it.
About Sirius Satellite Radio and all that.
Yeah, he's been doing it.
They've been doing this, man. Been doing this.
Yeah, but you don't have so many people, ethnicity of us though, of black people too, to come on. Like you say, I can go back to, like you said, a person that you gotta pay homage to, and just being the voice of the people and come across the airways. Dick Gregory, a voice of the people, and that's gonna speak the truth. But he was cut from a different cloth, and he was of a certain era, so a different grit of just like you say, a Dick Gregory. He spoke the truth.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it's just like you said. You got to pay homage to those ones that came before you, and then when you said it, it made me think of you got to study thyself to show thyself approved. So you gotta study and know where you coming from and where you trying to go. You gotta know that. If you just jump out there like you said and don't know where you trying to go, like you said again, you're gonna be lost.
No plan will be mastered without action.
Oh man, come on, speak on it.
You feel me?
Yeah.
No action will be mastered without a plan.
Come on.
You feel me?
Yeah.
I learned that in prison, man.
Yeah.
When I was in prison, I knew, I said, you know what? In order for me to get out and turn my life around and live a successful life, man, and be out here, man, and stay out here, I got to plan, plot, and strategize.
Yeah.
Because it was logistics.
Yeah.
And I didn't even know it was logistics till 10 years after I got out.
Yeah.
But I was in there planning, plotting, and strategizing, man. I used to get a notebook and say, you know what, man, when I do this, when I get out, I'm going to do this. I want to do this. You know what I'm saying? When I get out, I want to do this. This is how I'm gonna do this. This is how I'm gonna do by going by this. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And if I wouldn't have did that, man, I wouldn't be sitting here being the podcast right now. I'd be podcasting in the chain gang. You know what I'm saying?
Come on, man.
with a phone trying to not get in motherfucking trouble.
That's
you
right.
know what I mean?
That's right.
So, like I said, man, it's enough out here for all of us, man. It's enough out here for all of us. I'm just so glad. I couldn't even sleep last night, man.
Yeah, that's right.
My first podcast, and I've been doing lead work. I've been lead working.
You definitely been doing the lead work.
Lead working. Even this week, man, I've been lead working my ass off. Trying to get shit taken care of, and we finally got in here.
But like you said, it's the team. But not only that though, you got a mind for it. So. And not everybody, like you said, can come up with an idea and craft it and then put it into motion. See, like you said, that showed determination. When you can actually move forward with coming up with an idea and then executing. It's motivation for other people to see that they can do it too. Now, like you said, it's enough for everybody out here. They can be doing the same thing.
Man, it's some money out here. There's some money out here. Don't let nobody tell you that you can't get no money. There's some money out here, man. Whatever you want,
you can have it.
You can have it. You can have it. It's just one step of plan of action away. It's all about logistics. You gotta logistic your mind, train your mind, be disciplined.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, I can do it this day. Hey, no, I can't do it this day. Or I can do it at this time. Or no, I can't do it at this time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta take care of yourself, man. You got to take care of yourself and you got to take care of your mind.